You hear about AI all the time, right? But what if I told you that behind all the headlines and the hype, there's a totally different story happening? Today, we're going to look at how AI is stepping up to become, well, a critical partner in solving some of our absolute biggest challenges. We're talking climate change, curing diseases, the big stuff. So let's just dive right in. And really, it all boils down to this one huge question. Is AI our greatest tool, or is it our final invention? I mean, that's the real heart of the whole conversation, isn't it? Is this thing the key to an amazing future? Or is it like a Pandora's box that maybe we should have just left closed? You've got this incredible hope on one side and this really deep anxiety on the other. And you know what? It's easy to see why people land on both sides of that fence. The dystopian stuff, worries about jobs disappearing, autonomous weapons, losing control, those are totally valid concerns. We have to talk about them. But there's this other side, this other vision. It's one where AI actually helps us tackle the problems that have been sticking with us for centuries. And for today, that's what we're going to focus on, that incredible potential for good.
Okay, so here's the real kicker. The argument isn't just that AI could help us. The idea is that it might actually be necessary. Think about it. The challenges we're up against now, climate change, pandemics, you name it, they are just so complex, so massive, that they're kind of beyond what our human brains can handle on their own. And that idea, right there, completely changes the frame. AI isn't a replacement for us, it's an essential partner.
All right, let's start with maybe the biggest challenge of them all, climate change. And I want to be clear, this isn't some far-off sci-fi idea. AI is already out there, right now, on the front lines of the fight to save our planet.
So you're probably wondering, okay, but how does that actually work? Well, we're talking about really practical, down-to-earth stuff. Things like making our power grids way smarter so they waste less energy, or helping scientists invent brand new materials for super-efficient batteries. And it can also run these unbelievably complex simulations that give us much, much better predictions about what our climate is actually going to do.
Let's take the energy grid example because it's a great one. Imagine an AI system that's watching an entire city's power usage, like second by second. It learns the rhythm of the city. It knows when people wake up, when they go to work, so it can see a heat wave coming and predict, hey, everyone's going to crank up their AC at 3 p.m. And before that even happens, it starts rerouting power from places that don't need it to the neighborhoods that will. The whole system just becomes so much smarter, so much more efficient. Now, that same kind of problem-solving power, it's also being used in areas that are, well, even more personal. We're talking about our health and our ability to feed everyone on the planet. And this is where the impact of AI starts to feel really direct, really human. And what's so cool about this is how proactive these tools are. See, AI isn't just waiting for a crisis to happen and then reacting, it's actually getting ahead of them. It can look at satellite photos, weather data, soil conditions, and predict where a famine is likely to happen. That gives us time to actually do something about it. And it's the same for farmers. It's helping them use their resources better, and it's completely changing the game for how we create new medicines. Just think about developing a new vaccine. A human scientist, brilliant as they are, might spend years, literally years, testing thousands of different compounds in a lab. In AI, it can analyze massive libraries of genetic code and molecular structures in a few hours. And it doesn't just look at them, it predicts which ones are most likely to actually work. Again, this isn't about replacing the scientist, it's about supercharging them. It takes a process that could take a decade and squishes it down into maybe just a few months. That's a huge deal.
So, okay, AI is helping us with today's big problems, but it's also doing something else. It's becoming this fundamental tool for pure discovery, for asking the biggest questions there are. Like, what is the universe made of, and what's our place in all of it?
And the key to all this is something called massive data sets. I mean, just try to wrap your head around this. We have things like particle colliders and giant space telescopes that create more data in a single day than you or I could look through in 1,000 years. It's just this fire hose of information. And somewhere, buried in all that data, are the answers to those big questions. And that is exactly where AI shines. It can drink from that fire hose of data, and, this is the important part, it can find the tiny, faint signal that's hidden in all the noise. It might spot something weird in the light from a faraway star, or find a new pattern in what happens when tiny particles smash together. And that little pattern could lead to a whole new scientific principle. It's basically an essential tool for being an explorer in the 21st century. So, let's step back for a second. When you put all this together, fighting climate change, tackling diseases, pushing the boundaries of what we know. A really clear picture starts to form. The main takeaway here is that AI isn't just some cool, fascinating gadget anymore. It's becoming something much more, an essential partner for our survival and our progress.
And that, of course, leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Because any good partnership needs rules, it needs trust, and you have to agree on your goals. So as we build this incredible tool, the big challenge isn't really if we should partner with AI, it's how we should do it. The real work ahead for all of us is to figure out what the rules of that partnership should be to make sure it's building a future that we all actually want to live in. So, what do you think? What should those rules be?